Right now, as you sit there watching this, something is happening inside your legs that you probably cannot feel. There is no pain, there is no sudden weakness, there is no dramatic warning sign, but deep inside the muscles of your thighs, your calves, and your hips, a slow and silent process is underway. Tiny muscle fibers that once powered you through decades of walking, climbing, working, and living are quietly shrinking. Blood flow that once surged freely through your lower body is gradually slowing down, and the nerves that kept your balance sharp and your footing sure are losing their edge one day at a time. This process does not announce itself with a loud alarm. Instead, it whispers when you notice that getting off the couch takes just a little more effort than it used to. It whispers when your legs feel unusually heavy halfway through a trip to the grocery store. It whispers when you catch yourself gripping the handrail on the stairs, not out of habit, but out of genuine need. Most people over 60 dismiss these moments as just getting older. But as a health professional who has spent years working with aging adults, I can tell you that these whispers are not meaningless. They are your body sending you a message. And the good news, the truly hopeful news, is that your body is also ready to listen when you send a message back. Because the human body at 60, at 70, even at 80, still has a remarkable ability to rebuild strength, restore circulation, and reclaim stability. And it does not require a gym membership or expensive equipment. It requires 5 specific movements that you can do in your own living room starting today. Stay with me through this entire video because each of these 5 exercises targets a different root cause of leg weakness, and together they form a complete system for protecting the independence and mobility that matter most to you. Before we begin, if you are new to Liberty Aging, take a moment to subscribe and tap the notification bell. This channel exists for one reason: to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent for as many years as possible. And if this video helps you today, drop the word strong in the comments so I know this information is reaching the people who need it. Now let me explain what is actually happening inside your body, because understanding the science behind leg weakness will change how seriously you take these exercises. After the age of 30, the human body begins to lose muscle mass at a rate of roughly 3 to 5% per decade. But after 60, that rate accelerates significantly. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it is not just a medical term found in textbooks. It is the reason millions of older adults slowly lose their ability to walk confidently, stand without wobbling, and move through daily life without fear. Sarcopenia targets the fast-twitch muscle fibers first. These are the fibers responsible for powerful movements like catching yourself when you stumble, pushing yourself up from a low seat, or climbing a flight of stairs without stopping. When these fibers deteriorate, the muscles may still look the same on the outside, but on the inside, they have lost a significant portion of their functional power. At the same time, circulation in the lower body becomes less efficient. The veins in your legs depend on muscular contractions to push blood back up toward your heart against the pull of gravity. When leg muscles weaken and daily movement decreases, this pumping mechanism slows down. The result is pooling of blood in the lower extremities, which leads to swelling in the ankles, a sensation of heaviness in the legs, cold feet, and even increased risk of blood clots. And then there is the nervous system. Your ability to balance depends on a complex network of signals between your brain, your spinal cord, and the tiny sensory receptors in your feet and ankles. As you age, the speed of these signals decreases. The receptors become less sensitive, and the stabilizing muscles that respond to those signals become slower to react. This is why a crack in the sidewalk that you would have stepped over without thinking 10 years ago can now become a genuine hazard. But here is what most people never hear from their doctors. All 3 of these systems, your muscles, your circulation, and your nervous system, respond to targeted exercise even late in life. Research published in some of the most respected medical journals in the world has shown that adults in their 70s and 80s can gain meaningful muscle strength, improve blood flow, and sharpen their balance through consistent, gentle movement. The key is knowing exactly which movements to do and how to do them correctly. That is what the rest of this video is about. Exercise number 1. The controlled chair rise, rebuilding your foundation from the ground up. This first movement targets the largest and most important muscle groups in your lower body: the quadriceps at the front of your thighs, the gluteal muscles in your hips and buttocks, and the deep core muscles that stabilize your trunk. These muscles work together every single time you stand up, sit down, walk, or climb. When they weaken, every one of those daily activities becomes harder and more dangerous. The controlled chair rise is not just an exercise. It is a direct rehearsal for the movement pattern you use most often in daily life. Find a solid, stable chair in your home. A kitchen or dining chair works perfectly. Avoid anything with wheels or anything that is soft and low to the ground. Sit down near the front edge of the seat so that your back is not resting against the chair back. Place both feet flat on the floor, spaced roughly the width of your shoulders apart. Make sure your toes are pointing slightly outward, which will help your knees track naturally as you move. Let your hands rest gently on your thighs. Now take a slow breath in. As you begin to exhale, lean your chest forward just enough so that your nose moves over your toes. This forward lean is essential because it shifts your center of gravity and allows your leg muscles to do the real work. From this position, press your feet firmly into the ground, feel your thigh muscles engage, and rise slowly to a full standing position. Do not rush. The slower you go, the more your muscles are forced to work and the stronger they become. Once you are standing, pause for 2 full seconds. Feel your weight distributed evenly between both feet. Notice your posture. Your shoulders should be relaxed, your chest lifted, and your hips directly under your shoulders. Now begin the descent. This part is even more important than standing up. Slowly push your hips backward as if you are reaching for the chair behind you. Bend your knees gradually and lower yourself with control. Imagine there is a raw egg on the seat of the chair and you cannot crack it. That image will remind you to lower yourself gently rather than dropping down. When you feel the seat beneath you, pause for 1 second before beginning the next repetition. Start with 6 to 8 repetitions. Rest for about 30 seconds and then perform a second set. If you find this difficult at first, you can place your fingertips on a table or countertop in front of you for light support. As the weeks pass and your muscles grow stronger, challenge yourself to complete the movement with your arms crossed over your chest. This small progression makes a tremendous difference in building real-world functional strength. Exercise number 2, the standing calf activator. Awakening your body's hidden circulatory engine. Your calf muscles are far more important than most people realize. They serve as a biological pump that pushes blood from your lower legs back up to your heart. Every time you take a step, every time you rise onto your toes, the muscles in your calves squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and propel blood upward against gravity. When these muscles become weak or inactive, circulation suffers. This is one of the primary reasons why so many older adults experience swollen ankles, tired legs, numbness in the feet, and that uncomfortable feeling of heaviness that settles into the lower body after sitting for a while. Stand behind a kitchen chair or countertop and place your hands lightly on the surface for balance. Position your feet about the width of your hips apart. Keep your toes pointing straight forward and make sure your weight is evenly distributed. Stand tall with your spine long and your shoulders gently pulled back. Begin by pressing slowly through the balls of your feet. Imagine you are trying to make yourself as tall as possible. Let your heels rise off the ground gradually. You should feel the muscles along the back of your lower legs begin to contract and tighten. Continue rising until you are standing as high on your toes as you comfortably can. Once you reach the top of the movement, hold that position for a full count of 3. During this hold, your calf muscles are squeezing the veins in your lower legs and actively pushing blood upward. This is the pumping action that earns these muscles their reputation as the second heart of the body. Now lower your heels back toward the floor, but do it slowly. Take 3 to 4 seconds to descend. This slow lowering phase, which exercise scientists call the eccentric phase, is where a significant amount of muscle strengthening occurs. When your heels touch the floor, pause for 1 second and then begin the next repetition. Perform 10 to 12 repetitions in your first set, rest for 20 seconds, and then complete a second set. As this becomes easier over the following weeks, try performing the exercise on a slightly elevated surface, such as the edge of a thick book or a low step. This allows your heels to drop slightly below the level of your toes, which increases the range of motion and gives the calf muscles an even deeper stretch and contraction. Exercise number 3, the seated leg extension with hold, targeting the muscle that protects your knees. Many adults over 60 begin to experience a vague sense of instability in their knees. It might show up as a feeling that the knee could buckle when walking downhill, a reluctance to take stairs, or a general lack of trust in the joint. In many cases, this instability is not caused by a problem inside the knee joint itself. It is caused by weakness in the quadriceps muscle that wraps around the front of the thigh. This muscle acts like a natural brace for the kneecap and the entire knee joint. When it is strong, the knee feels secure and supported. When it weakens, the knee becomes vulnerable. Sit in a sturdy chair with your back upright and your feet flat on the floor. Grip the sides of the chair seat lightly with your hands for stability. Choose one leg to start with. Slowly begin to straighten that leg by extending it out in front of you. Move deliberately. Take about 3 seconds to fully straighten the leg until it is parallel with the floor or as close to parallel as you comfortably can manage. Once the leg is extended, flex your foot by pulling your toes back toward your shin. This engages the quadriceps even more deeply and creates a firm contraction along the entire front of the thigh. Hold this position for 5 full seconds. During the hold, you should feel the muscle at the front of your thigh working firmly. You might even notice a slight trembling in the muscle. That trembling is a sign that the muscle fibers are being challenged, and that is exactly what you want. After 5 seconds, slowly lower the leg back down, taking another 3 seconds to return to the starting position. Do not let the leg drop. Controlling the descent is critical for building the kind of strength that protects your knees during real-life activities. Complete 8 repetitions with one leg, then switch to the other leg and perform 8 more. Aim for 2 full sets on each side. Over time, as the quadriceps become stronger, you will likely notice that your knees feel more stable, walking feels more secure, and activities like climbing stairs or stepping off a curb feel noticeably less intimidating. Exercise number 4, the tandem stance with weight shift. Retraining your balance from the inside out. Falls are one of the most serious health threats facing adults over 60. And what most people do not understand is that falls rarely happen because someone is dramatically weak. They happen because the body's balance system fails to react quickly enough during a small, unexpected moment. A slight stumble on a rug, a misstep on a wet floor, or a moment of dizziness when turning around too quickly. Your balance depends on 3 systems working together: your vision, the sensors in your inner ear, and the proprioceptive receptors in your feet and ankles. The third system, proprioception, is the one most affected by aging and the one most improved by targeted practice. Stand near a wall or a sturdy countertop that you can reach if needed. Place one foot directly in front of the other so that the heel of your front foot is touching or nearly touching the toes of your back foot. This is called a tandem stance, and it immediately challenges your balance in a way that normal standing does not. You will feel your ankles, feet, and hips begin making constant, tiny adjustments to keep you upright. These micro adjustments are exactly what trains the stabilizing muscles and sharpens the proprioceptive signals between your feet and your brain. Once you feel stable in this position, slowly shift your weight forward so that more of your body weight rests on your front foot. Hold for 3 seconds. Then slowly shift your weight backwards so that your back foot carries the load. Hold for another 3 seconds. Continue shifting your weight forward and back in a slow, controlled rhythm. Keep your gaze fixed on a point straight ahead at eye level. Looking down at your feet actually makes balancing harder because it disrupts the visual input your brain uses for stability. Practice this for 30 seconds, then switch which foot is in front and repeat for another 30 seconds. Perform this sequence 2 to 3 times. As your balance improves over the weeks, try this exercise with your arms crossed over your chest, which removes the instinctive counterbalancing that your arms provide and forces your core and legs to work even harder. Some of my viewers have told me that after practicing this consistently for just 3 to 4 weeks, they feel dramatically more confident walking on uneven surfaces, stepping off curbs, and navigating their homes at night. Exercise number 5, the supported wall press. Building deep endurance in the thighs and hips. This final exercise is designed to build the kind of muscular endurance that supports you during prolonged standing, extended walking, and all the activities that require your legs to work steadily over time. Unlike the chair rise, which builds power through movement, the wall press builds strength through sustained muscle engagement, which is a different and equally important type of fitness for aging adults. Find a smooth, clear section of wall in your home. Stand with your entire back pressed flat against the wall, from your shoulder blades down to your tailbone. Walk your feet out approximately 12 to 15 inches from the wall and position them shoulder width apart. Your toes should point straight ahead. From this starting position, slowly begin to slide your back down the wall by bending your knees. You do not need to go deep. Lower yourself only a few inches at first, just enough that you feel your thigh muscles begin to engage and work. Think of it as sitting into an invisible chair. Once you reach a depth that feels challenging but not painful, stop and hold. Keep your back flat against the wall. Make sure your knees stay directly above your ankles and do not drift forward past your toes. Breathe slowly and steadily during the hold. Do not hold your breath. Begin with a hold of 8 to 10 seconds. Then press through your heels and slide yourself back up the wall to standing. Rest for 15 seconds and repeat. Start with 4 to 5 repetitions and gradually increase the duration of each hold as your muscles adapt. Within a few weeks, many people find they can hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, which represents a significant improvement in muscular endurance. This exercise is remarkably effective at reducing knee discomfort because it strengthens the muscles that absorb shock and distribute force across the joint. When the quadriceps and glutes become stronger, the bones and cartilage inside the knee bear less stress, and movements that once caused aching or stiffness begin to feel smoother and more comfortable. Now, here is what I want you to take away from everything we have covered today. Leg weakness after 60 is not inevitable. It is not a sentence. It is a signal, and it is a signal that your body is asking for help. The 5 exercises you just learned, the controlled chair rise, the standing calf activator, the seated leg extension, the tandem stance, and the supported wall press, these are your answers to that signal. They address muscle loss, poor circulation, joint instability, and impaired balance, the 4 pillars that determine whether your legs carry you confidently through the next decade or slowly let you down. But none of these exercises work if they stay in this video. They only work when they become part of your daily life. Start with just 1 or 2. Practice them tomorrow morning. Add another the following week. Within a month, you will have built a simple routine that takes less than 15 minutes but delivers protection that no medication or supplement can replace. The strength you build in your legs today is not just about muscles. It is about preserving your freedom, your confidence, and your ability to live life on your own terms. It is about walking through the park with your grandchildren without worrying about falling. It is about traveling to the places you have always wanted to see. It is about standing in your own kitchen and cooking your own meals and knowing that your body can still support the life you want to live. If this video gave you even one insight that you plan to use, please type the word strong in the comments below. Share this video with someone you care about who might be noticing these early signs of leg weakness. Subscribe to Liberty Aging if you have not already, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video designed specifically to help you age with strength and dignity. Thank you for watching, and remember, your strongest years are not behind you. They are built by what you choose to do today.